Hi, this is Chris, and thank you for joining me again on my channel for the 12 Days of Christmas. Today is day 12. I decided to do a little mixed media today, and I'm not a pro at doing mixed media. This is not my forte, but every once in a while I like to play. So if you're one who wants to try it out, what I'm using is some modeling paste, and the brand is Liquitex. I got it from Michaels. It came in a pack of several different kinds of mixed media. So it had gesso, modeling paste, and some other products all within one small variety pack. It's a great way of trying it out and seeing if it's something that you'll want to use before you go ahead and invest a lot of money. And then what I'm using is a stencil that I got from Echo Park. I believe it's one of their Christmas lines. It's all snowflakes. So what I'm trying to do is just a softer look. We're so used to Christmas being all the bright colors or all the warm wood grain, and I've always admired the white on white, and so today that's what I'm going to tackle. So I've gone ahead and put the texture paste around with the snow stencil. And now I'm taking a picture of my two grandsons. It's from 2 Christmases ago. It was their Christmas card picture, and I've turned it into black and white. I matted it on a piece of white cardstock, and now I'm going to mat it on 2 layers of vellum. And then when I'm done with that, I'm actually going to then put it on several layers of tissue paper to give it that soft look. So I hope you've been enjoying going through all the videos for 12 days. I've been loving everyone's videos that have been putting out the 12 days of Christmas videos. This has been a fun experience and a lot of fun just trying to change up and do different techniques. Now, like I've said in the past, I did have to miss 2 days because of my dad having an illness, but he's home now and doing much better. So I am going to still put up day 6 and day 7. They're going to be a little bit late. And I am going to do a share video of 2 different December dailies that I've done in the past. So be on the lookout for those. Those are going to come up tomorrow on day 13 and then day 14. And I just want to thank everyone who's subscribed and has been supportive for me. This has been a lot of fun. So now that I have the tissue paper down on my pages, now I went into my stash and I found some doilies. And I have several different kinds, but I wanted the ones that had more of like a Victorian kind of lace edge to it. So I have these 2 different types, and those are what I'm going to use. And I'm just going and cutting off small bits and then putting them within the layers of the tissue paper and trying to just give dimension. When you're doing a white on white layout, you can't get definition from the paper itself, so you have to do it with textures and feels. So I'm getting that through the modeling paste, through the tissue paper, the vellum. Now I'm getting the look with the toilies. I'm also cutting up and putting some tags, just a hint of them peeking out from the different layers. And then I'm also using thread and winding that up and tucking that in. Each one of these different items is just giving it a different feel. They're all white, but when you look at the layout, it has interest because of these different elements that are in here. And I'm just going to go ahead and layer this all the way around, kind of peeking out. Back when I first found YouTube, so it had to have been about 8 years ago maybe, there was a YouTuber called Swiss Girl Design, and I'm not sure what's happened to her. Her channel is now down, but she used to do a lot of white on white, a lot of thread, a lot of just kind of cool textures, and same with Sue Fish. She's very inspirational as well. And so I'm kind of taking a little bit of all of that and kind of running with that kind of a look. And the thread is something that Missy Whidden does, even though she uses a lot of color. So now what I've gone in and done is I've cut out or punched out with my Stampin' Up! Banner punch different banners in either white cardstock, vellum, or I used bits of that doily and cut those into banners. And now I'm going to go ahead and tie just some of the darning thread, or yeah, it's basically a crochet thread that I use. I'm putting those into the tags. And now I'm going to go ahead and glue my picture down on top of the modeling paste. In the time that it took me to put my layers together, the modeling paste was already dry. So it does dry very quickly. You do need to make sure that you clean your stencils and your tools off right away, because it will dry and clog them up. So now what I'm doing is taking another piece of this embroidery thread, and I'm just twirling it into a banner that's going to run below the picture, and I'm just tacking it down with some Scotch Quick Dry adhesive. Anytime you use modeling paste, you do want to use like a wet adhesive to hold the picture and everything in place. There's a lot of texture in there, and regular like ATG just won't hold on to the modeling paste. So your best bet is to use like a wet glue like the Scotch Quick Dry adhesive. So now that I've tacked that thread down, now I'm just going to go ahead and glue each of the banners, and I'm just varying in between the cardstock, the vellum, and then the doilies. And now that I have that almost done, when I'm done with this, the next thing I'm going to do is get out another of my tools that I haven't used in a while, and that's going to be my Creative Memories. It's like a ruler, but it actually is to cut torn edges. And I'm going to cut this whole mat down to a smaller size. So here I go ahead and rip it, and it gives that torn edge look. But with this, it's a little bit more controlled. And I'm not really concerned with the size. I'm just eyeballing it for how big I want it. And I'm tearing that off. So now I've got a smaller mat. And now I'm going to go ahead and glue it onto another piece of white cardstock. And again, just adding that white on white look. Now I'm taking another of my doilies, and I'm just going to tuck it peeking out from each side of the torn photo mat. And then the last thing I'm going to do for this layout is I'm going to go ahead and get out some enamel dots. They're like a clear with glitter, and that's the only sparkly thing that's on here, but still staying in the white tones, and I'm just going to sprinkle this around. So that's it for my layout. I want to thank you again for joining us for all the 12 days. Please be on the lookout for those 2 that I missed. And thank you so much for participating, liking, and for all those who are new subscribers, thank you. I've really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to bring you more content. Y'all have a very, very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, and we'll see you in the new year.